Evicting a tenant can seem like a complicated process, but in this video, we'll quickly explain general eviction laws and how to evict your tenant in 7 simple steps. First, what is an eviction? Eviction is the process of legally removing a tenant. It's illegal for a landlord to change locks or physically remove a tenant. So, if the tenant refuses to leave after violating their lease, the landlord must seek an eviction from the court. You can only evict a tenant in accordance with state law and for valid reasons, such as non-payment of rent, non-compliance, illegal activity, and other circumstances depending on the state. The way a landlord informs the tenant of their intent to evict them is with an eviction notice. The process for simply terminating a lease differs from that of an eviction. Lease terminations require proper notice from the landlord or tenant, and state requirements can be found on our website. Eviction notices. Eviction notices are also called notices to quit. These forms are state-specific and may give the tenant a fixed amount of time to correct the problem or leave. Notices to quit are either curable or incurable. A curable notice means that the tenant has a limited time frame allowed by the state to rectify the situation. If the situation is incurable, it means that the tenant has no chance to fix the problem and must vacate before the close of the time allotted in the notice to quit. If the landlord serves the tenant an eviction notice and they refuse to leave or amend the violation, the landlord must now take the matter to the court. 7 steps to legally evicting a tenant. 1. Try to settle the violation. If your tenant has a decent rental history, it may be in your best interest to work with them to solve the issue before pursuing eviction. 2. Send an eviction notice. If eviction is necessary, the landlord must first deliver the notice to quit. The notice should be posted on the tenant's door and must also be sent via certified mail with a return receipt requested via USPS. 3. Wait to see if the violation is amended. If the violation is curable, the landlord is held by the designated time frame, which gives the tenant an opportunity to fix the issue before you can proceed to court. 4. File eviction papers with the court. If the tenant has not vacated or corrected the violation, you can now file with your local court by bringing a copy of the return receipt and a filing, which is called a complaint in most states. The complaint usually must contain the address and a description, if any, of the property you are seeking to possess, a description of the reason for eviction, a detailed account as to how and when the notice to vacate was delivered, an accounting of all unpaid rent and dues at the time of filing, and, if attorney fees are being sought, including a statement with the filing. Once filed, the court will issue a summons, which orders the parties to attend court on a specified date. 5. Go to your court. You should come to court prepared with sufficient documentation, including but not limited to the original signed lease agreement, records of payments, communication records, written notices, and the notice to quit. 6. Removing the tenant. If the court rules in your favor and the tenant still remains on the property, you may ask the court for a writ, which will allow your local sheriff's department to remove the tenant and their possessions. 7. Collecting past rent and court fees. If the tenant's security deposit does not cover your losses, you can try to recuperate damages through small claims court. It's important that you follow eviction rules specific to your state. For more information on evictions in your state and to get your free eviction forms, click the link below.